Welcome back, 8:12 right now. So tomorrow the nation is marking a year since the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. And with the rise in extremism and misinformation, many fear that this could happen once again. Joining me this morning to talk about that, Jonathan GreenBlatt, the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League. Jonathan, good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you.
It's good to have you here. Absolutely. So, the Anti-Defamation League, about fighting hate. I mean, when we talk about a year later, what comes to mind when you think of what happened on January 6th?
Well, it was really, I think, an extraordinary moment in many ways, Liz. But in some ways, it was also the culmination of something that had been building. I think you can draw a through line from Charlottesville to Pittsburgh to El Paso to what happened on Capitol Hill. This explosion of violence really fueled by hate. And this is an issue all over the country. It's an issue in the state of Washington. We had 462 hate crimes in 2020 in the state of Washington. We had a 50% increase in anti-Semitic incidents. So what happened on Capitol Hill, where people were rampaging through the building, looking for legislators who they could literally capture, kidnap, and kill, shouldn't be dismissed. It shouldn't be disregarded. I think it was a low point for our country, and I worry a great deal, and it's why I wrote the book, that it could happen here unless we do something about it.
And, I do want to ask you about the book. There it is on the screen. It's called It Could Happen Here, Why America is Tipping from Hate to the Unthinkable. Where do we go from here? What happens next?
Well, I think it's critical that we do a few things. Number one, we recognize that we have a problem on our hands. And there are steps that we can take. And again, it's why I wrote the book. I mean, the ADL's been fighting hate for over 100 years. We've had an office in Seattle for decades. We are very focused on these issues. And what I'm doing with the book is sharing strategies and tactics and tips about how you can confront hate, when it happens, whether it's in the workplace or on social media or at a house of worship. I mean, I think all of us have a role to play if we want to push back on prejudice once and for all.
I mean, that was actually one of my next questions. I mean, you can't help feel a little helpless when these headlines seem so big and you just feel like one person. I mean, is there anything we can do right now to start maybe changing the narrative here?
Oh, 100%. And look, this country has not only endured but survived and thrived after civil wars, after economic depressions, after, world wars. I mean, we have come through difficult times before. But I will say, one of the lessons is that democracy is not something that you can watch from the cheap seats in the bleachers. It's a contact sport, and we've all got to be on the field. We've all got to participate. So what can you do? Well, in addition to, getting the book, I think number one, we've got to call out hate when it happens. We've got to interrupt intolerance, whether it's at the water cooler or in the locker room or on the college campus. I think number two, we've got to cancel culture, Liz. I think we've got to lose the litmus tests. My Jewish faith teaches me that all people have the opportunity, the power to be redeemed if they can amend for their errors. And then finally, like I said, I think we've got to engage in our democracy. Show up at your school board not to scream about anti-vaxxer conspiracies, but rather to participate, to get engaged, volunteer, vote. I think we all as ordinary citizens have the capacity to do our part to hold on to what we have.
And I like how you're talking about some of these things at a very local level, participating in elections, going to a school board meeting, participating in, volunteering. I mean, when it comes to, I'm just going to call us out, when it comes to us in the media, I mean, there is a lot of misinformation on social media. We see it all the time. We're trying to fight that. I mean, what do all of us need to be doing to fight misinformation? I mean, is there anything that can turn us back from that point?
Well, look, I do need to say, I think there's a very big difference between KCPQ and other, news outlets and broadcast mediums and print outlets, et cetera, versus social media. Yeah. I mean, you abide by a set of editorial guidelines and standards and practices, but on Facebook, literally the algorithms are engineered to inflame people. And there's no editorial guidelines. There's no tripwires. Yeah. I think the first thing we need to recognize is that social media needs to be held as responsible for what it broadcasts as you guys are. So we need a change in the law, and I think, Patty Murray has talked about this and other elected officials have. It's long overdue.
Jonathan Rosenblatt, appreciate you being with us, or Jonathan Greenblatt, excuse me, appreciate you joining us this morning and talking with us here. For more information, you can head to adl.org. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Liz.
Yeah, absolutely.